So please join me in welcoming John Rasmussen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emery. I promise this will be a little more comfortable than Bikram yoga.
That's hot yoga.
You know, some of you who are fire-based people probably already have enough going on in a lot of ways, like myself. Right? But thank you all. Thanks for coming. This is actually a very powerful time and a very powerful thing to do together. And as you know, fire is intense. This is not, obviously all of you like that. Somehow there's a lot of people here, I think you almost like fire, because it is a very fast and intense way to cleanse and to transform and, you know, all that stuff, right? And fire is everywhere. It's everywhere. It's not just in the candles. It's not just in the fireplace, in the fire pits, right? It's in your digestion, your combustion. It's an oxidation process that's happening in every cell of your body constantly. Your breath is to fuel that, right? Is to be like the bellows to the fire in every cell of your body, providing the oxygen. Right, so think about that, right? And we're all children of the sun. My Karo teachers are descendants of the Inca, and Inca in Quechua means child of the sun. And so this is a fire-based lineage. My mesa stones that I use from that tradition to help people heal and cleanse past life wounds and traumas and things like that. They do what's called miqui in Quechua, which is literally to combust. So we are all here tonight to combust all that we possibly can. And and you know, just like oil in the ground has been, you know, years of compressed organic matter, you know, and it's very combustible, it becomes fuel. You know, all the things that we have oppressed and you know, suppressed within us, right? All of the feelings and emotions that unfortunately our society does not allow to constantly, you know, process. That's fuel within you as well. And the reason I gave you these sticks is that in the Karo tradition, we use breath to move information and energy as well. So I'm going to open sacred space in a moment. You'll see me using my breath with fire water, right? 75% alcohol, with all the essential oils, so that, you know, I could take the Palo Santo, right, and I can smudge, and we'll, you know, I could do a little bit of that. Sage, you're all familiar with the burning of powerful plant, you know, medicines, powerful, you know, incense and other powerful plants, right? So there's that, but that's also in here. So we use the breath, we put a little on the lips, and we move energy that way. So I'm going to open space, and if it's possible for you to comfortably stand up and face the directions with me and do this with me, it would be great. And then we'll continue this. So south is this way, so let's see if we can. And I'm calling on the forces of nature. In the Karo tradition, there are archetypal animals that contain the organizing principles of the universe and different healing principles, different characteristics and instincts for us. We used to be these things. We have evolved, our consciousness has evolved from stones to single-celled organisms to all of the animals and plants and so on. So we are familiar, we have a relationship, right, with these. And this is just acknowledging that relationship, that they are still here to support us, and that the earth herself is a big support for us, right? She takes our waste, she mulches it, and that the stars and the sun and all the great beings in the heavens, the spiritual beings, the non-physical beings, are here to support us unconditionally. So it's with that we call on them to hold us in this space, to be with us, to allow us to shed these heavy energies, combust these energies, and dream a new world into being, okay? So here we go. So it's always good in your mind to think and acknowledge whoever that might be for you as well, because every tradition has a little bit different set of archetypes, possibly. To the winds of the south, Sachamama, Hatunamaru, Great Serpent, Mother of the Waters, the rivers, the galaxies, the roads that bring us together, hold us in this healing space. Come wrap your coils of light around us. Help us to shed the old wounds and heavy energies. The way you shed your skin, which is all at once, right here, right now, so that we can walk in beauty, in wholeness, in our power, and gently on the earth. Be with us. Ho. Okay, let's face to the west, one turn to the right. To the winds of the west, Otorongo, great jaguar, puma. Come protect this medicine space for us. Devour those energies that do not belong. Teach us your ways. Help us to leap beyond the fears, the doubts, the limiting myths and beliefs and ancestral influences that no longer serve us. Instead, teach us to be warriors, but warriors who have no need to engage in battle, internally or externally. Instead, warriors who know what we desire, those core experiences, are willing and able to ask and receive them in whatever form so we can leap into who we are becoming. Peaceful, powerful, luminous beings. Be with us. Oh. To the north. To the winds of the north, great healers, wisdom keepers, lineages of all, ancestors and guardians of this land. Come hold us in the ancient wisdom and the wisdom to come. We honor you who come before us and you who will come after us, our children's children. Help us take our seats with you. We've never left as powerful, free, childlike co-creators. And hummingbirds, Siwarkinti, Wanakauri, come help us to drink of the nectar of life, to receive unconditionally, so that we can do that which seems impossible as you do. Be with us. Oh, to the winds of the east, Hatun Kuntur, great condor, Apuchin, Anka, eagle. Help us to soar high, have the broadest perspective, the clearest vision of our ideal destiny, and bring it to earth. Grow corn with it, embody it, manifest it, dream it into being. Help us to listen to our bodies, to use our feelings as guidance and discernment and as a way of asking, to put the heart above the head, to honor the feminine once again in that way fully, and fly wing to wing with great spirit, with self-effort and grace. Be with us. Ho. Pachamama, great mother, thank you for holding us, for being our true mother, for being in our bodies, the air, the water, all your children, the stone people, the plant people, the two-legged, the four-legged, the creepy crawlers, the fin, the bird, and the winged ones. All our relations that not only feed us and bring us beauty and joy, but help us to embody their characteristics and instincts when we need them, their medicine. And thank you, Mother, for taking those energies that are too heavy for us and mulching them so we don't have to carry them around any longer. So that we can be free to take life beyond where it's been before, here on your belly, here in our bodies, in this lifetime. Thank you, Mother. Oh. Inti Taita, Father, Son, Mama Kia, Grandmother Moon, Hatun Chaska, Star Brothers and Sisters. Thank you for showering us with your energy, your light, your warmth, your fire, that makes, and your cycles that make life possible for us here, and doing this unconditionally, without judgment, teaching us to treat ourselves and each other this way. And Great Spirit Letitia Wirakocha Wakantanka, Creator of all that is, you are known by 1,000 names, yet the innameable one that dwells within us and all around us in all forms. Thank you for bringing us together to sing this song of life one more day, to dance this dance of co-creation, to take it beyond where it's been before. And thank you for all those you brought to us to help us and show us our potential. Oh, thank you. All right. Okay. So, a lot of people think of spiritual practices and, what we know of in our modern cultures as spiritual practices, as something that has to do with transcending, with rising above, with getting out of the material into the spiritual. And there is value in that. It's one part of the shaman's overall training and the overall journey of healing for anybody. But to shamans, there's no separation of spirit and matter. There's nothing more spiritual than biology, the way it seeks greater and greater complexity. And this is a beautiful theater with which spirit and consciousness and matter all come together, right? To create drama, to create theater, to create experiences of obviously pleasure and pain, right? Can't have all pleasure, gotta be some pain. But we're built to enjoy that and to also process the painful moments. We're meant to combust it in our bellies when we're hurt. We cry, we scream, we yell, we express anger, we express these things. And then very quickly, if we allow that takes the energy and it combusts it and it transforms it, and then the ash from that combustion process, the leftover energy goes out our first chakra, the base of our body, into the earth, where she's built to transform that further into new life. Just like our food. Think about that. You don't just meditate on your food and imagine the energy and the taste, and right? That's great. You can do that, and eventually you have to put it in your stomach, and your acid, which is another combustion process, burns it so that you can get what you need to run around and play. And then the ash that you're not built to process goes out the bottom of your body into the earth and gets mulched and turned into new food, new life, fertilizer, right? It's amazing. That is just, you can't ask for any better design than that, right? Any better creation. But it's been a long time in our modern Western culture since we have been fully aware of that and fully allowed, like I said, to process that way, right? There was a suppression of the of the feminine, and that has caused for lifetimes and years for us to back up that sewage system, so to speak, right? We've been blocking that processing and that release, and we hold all those emotions in our chakras, in our heart, in our head, right? And it's at this point it's almost overwhelming. At this point it would almost be too much to ask you to, just start crying about everything you've ever been sad about for the last 10 lifetimes, okay? Right? It would take years probably for us to get through it all. And so my teachers and the way I've been trained and fortunately because of the grace essentially of life and of the source and of whatever you want to call it, right? The true Mother Earth, the true Father God, the source. Because of that, we can just release all of that at once and in a way that doesn't necessarily require us to fully process it again. And that's what the sticks are for that I gave you. There is a power and efficiency to ceremony, to ritual, not just thinking, not just listening to my words and going, oh yeah, that sounds great, good idea, okay, I'm just gonna let it go, right? You have to do something. You have to move. You have to do something. And so we come to the fire, and we've been coming to fire this way in every tradition for as long as anyone can remember, for this purpose. We can use the fire that's being released from these candles or from a tree, a piece of wood, that are the bands of sunlight that have wrapped around that tree since the beginning, since it first came out of the ground, right? And we harness that sunlight and we come to it and we use our breath and the stick to intend to blow all of any pent-up anger, frustration, wounds, dramas. You know, in the shamanic traditions, there are really only 6 painful human experiences. Archetypally, there are only 6 ways, or 6 experiences of being hurt. There's many, many ways and many, many things people can do to other people and so on, or you can do. But there's only loss, abuse, betrayal, abandonment, neglect, and engulfment. So you could lose a car, lose a friend, lose your house, lose a job. It's just loss. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And across the board, each one of those explains anything and everything that has ever happened in your life experience that was painful. Okay? When you realize that, you realize you don't have to keep track of the specifics, of the details. In fact, they're very incidental to us, right? And it's that same experience that just keeps happening over and over. One way, the same story happens in a lot of different ways to you, but it's still just the same story. It's just the same energy that's either coming up from within you and creating that painful experience for maybe an opportunity to cry and scream and yell this time and let it go, or it's the normal engagement with the theater and the things that are happening, and you are once again feel that pain. Okay? And unfortunately, because our world, got turned upside down when the feminine was suppressed, and matter and mater and mother was made less valuable than father and spirit and man, and that kind of thing. We suppress more and more, and we didn't fully process things, and then we would look for intellectual solutions. The masculine in us would look for analysis and why did that happen to me, and how, do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And shamanism is all about the feminine. It's all about coming back to, let's just use all the tools and the forces of nature that we have, that are grace, that are given to us, that is unconditional, like the sun that rises every day and the earth that takes our waste and mulches it. We don't have to work for that. So let's use that. Let's use that. And so tonight, that's what I want to do with all of you. I'm going to drum and maybe sing a little song that we chant during our fire ceremonies that I, did for many years as I was training with the Caro and with Alberto's school and so on. So I'll chant, and if you know it, you can chant along, or if you pick up on it, you're welcome to chant along. But what I'd really like you to do, take advantage of this moment tonight, this gathering. All of our intent is like multiplied by exponentially by everyone here together. That's what's so beautiful. And a lot of people I know all over the world are doing these fire ceremonies tonight and the last couple of nights, all over the world. And all of that is combining to help us as well, to reach out and to help you do this. Because I know for a lot of you, there are some serious, serious things buried deep inside there. Very painful experiences, right? Mm-hmm. And you only have to look around today, and there's even more you're being bombarded, right? I'm sure that each and every one of you is frustrated to some degree with things in the world, and You know I've been since 4 years old, since I was old enough to know what was happening. And a little shaman kid. Sensitive and all that kind of stuff, right? So, and visionary aware. So, we'll do that ceremony, and then I was going to have you each come up and put your candles in here, but I don't want to burn down the bookstore at this point. I think there's too much of us. But what I would like you to do is also have a tool to go home with, okay? And it's the breath. And there's a way to do this fire breath, and I want you just to experience it a little bit, right? You all have heard of breathing exercise. You all know the value of breath in various different forms and such like that. But what I'd like you to do, and this will also, I think, kind of help to stir up some of that mud that's been packed so that we can blow it into the stick. I don't mind you feeling a little bit upset tonight, a little bit angry, a little bit whatever. You know what I mean? Like I started out saying, we didn't come here for, well, that'll come after, the peace and the light, and you'll go home nice and peaceful. But the reason we gather here in this sacred space is to allow, right, for us to this is fire. We're allowed to get, you might have noticed me from the last time. I'm a little bit fired up myself. I'm not the same peaceful John you might have seen in the fact, some of I'm ready. I'm riled up for this. I can't help it. It's so. But what I'd like you to do, you got your stick, and does everybody have a stick? Or there's a couple more. Do we have maybe we can pass the little matchbook around. I brought about 20 wood matches, and that's not enough. So we got more coming. Did you got them? Yeah. Oh, right here in front, and then who else needs? You need a couple. Okay. Yeah. I'll pass it. The idea here is I want you to see that one of the reasons for doing shamanic work. Who else? What's in that there? How many? Another one? You good? Okay. What was I saying?
One of the reasons we're doing shamanic work.
Oh yeah. So thank you. Thank God.
Every day. It happens to me every day.
Yeah, right. Probably good. So I think so the reason that we do things in ritual and ceremony is so we don't have to do it the hard way. Right? This is the reason for this stuff. You will one way or the other, your life will present you with opportunities to do your work. Whether it's some marriages I call 30-year shaman sessions, right? You're healing each other every day until the healing's done, and then you're like, why are we even together? And the divorce happens because you're done. So, you can do it that way. That's great. That's fine. You want to do that, you go ahead. And various other, modalities and just approaches, and they're all good, and they're all, but or just kind of, clawing through life, and right, maybe lifetime after lifetime, and eventually you work through this stuff. That's okay, But the reason for doing shamanic work is that we have the processes available and the sacred space and the teams that show up when we've been initiated and things like this that allow us to do it right here tonight. Get it done, like the death rites. When I do the death rites for a client, I kill them that moment. So that death that was stalking them can't find them anymore. Right? The job's been done. They're dead. Don't look here. They're not here anymore. And then I bring them back. It sounds more dramatic than it actually is. It's symbolic, right? But it's an energy thing that we send you out and we bring you back intact and more clear. But basically, the point of that is that yes, once you do that death rite, which is really the life rite, because once you've cleared that death that was stalking you, you can now be fully claimed by life. I mean, you've seen it. You've seen people who've had near-death experiences, right? I had those when I was younger, and you come back and you're like, whew, wow, this is great. It's great to be here. You have a whole new attitude, right? But you don't have to wait until that death that was stalking you gets you that way. In fact, that's what my Karo teachers say. Death isn't really something that happens by accident or disease, or age. It's something that takes you little by little till you're more dead than alive, and you haven't had the courtesy of disposing of your body. So, and we know what that's like. But so when we clear that, we can be fully claimed by life, fully alive in our body, in this body. We don't have to wait until the next opportunity and the next opportunity, right? We can do it tonight. We can do it tonight. Like another saying my teachers say is, in the West, in our religions, we say, okay, at the end of time, the Messiah will return and we will be back in heaven. We'll experience heaven on earth again, right? The various stories, right? At the end of time, we will have that grace and the Messiah will return. And the shaman say, how about tonight? Why wait till the end of time? Let's return tonight. So this is what I want to offer you tonight, right? Is like, let's take everything that is holding you back, doubts, guilt, stories, wounds, all the things that you're either being held as victim to or perpetrator to or rescuer to, all of which are heavy, disempowered thoughts and confusion, right? There's another saying, enlightenment is just lack of confusion. Think about that. It's so huge, right? And religious leaders have said that. If you are single, if your eye is single, you can move that mountain into the sea. Jesus said that, right? Meaning if you don't have confusion, if you're not questioning yourself anymore, if you're not in that state, then your power is immense. Your power to pray and co-create with Source is infinite. Okay? So that's what we all want to take, all confusion, all division, all doubts, all your concerns about, but what are we going to do about so-and-so, and how am I going to deal with that person at work, right? I know your mind has the reality, right, of it. That's fine. You'll go to work tomorrow. Everything will, Monday or whatever. Those things will be there, but you'll have such a great power and such ability to let to process those things quickly and let them go, that nobody can make you victim. Nobody can ruin your day. Nobody can ruin your life, no matter what they do. Doesn't that sound good?
Yes.
It sounds good. That's all we really have, because we can't control them. We can't stop them. We can't kill enough of them. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen that way. That's what humans have been trying for a long, long time. Obviously, it's not working, right? You just keep going around the wheel. Ouch, you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you back. I'm victim, I'm perpetrator now. I got to stop you from hurting them. I'm the rescuer now. Oh, you hurt them anyway, now I'm the victim again. And around we go.
Vicious circle.
Right? It's the disempowerment trap. Okay, we don't need to do that. You can do it for drama. This is a theater. You could dance around that all you want. Nobody's watching, no judging. But if you ever want to just get off that, right, you can as well. You don't have to stay trapped in it, stuck in it, right? That's shamanism. That's the power that should be normal to all of us. So let's do that. So I'm going to drum a little. I'm going to do that little chant. And you've got your stick. And I actually want you to conjure as much of that old story and that old stuff. Think of it. Think of the worst of it. Think of everything that's frustrating you, everything that's got you doubting and fear and everything that you can, all your old stories. And just every time you think of something, blow it into that stick. We're loading the stick up with your stuff, and then we're going to take it to the fire. I'll do it later in a big fire in my yard. But does that sound good? Any questions about that? Does that make sense? So tonight, I at this moment anyway, I don't necessarily want you to go to the good feeling place. Okay, that's not the point. We need to get the fuel up and take it to the fire. So go to the frustration. And let me so the tool that I wanted to teach you before we do this is this, I just want you to experience the combustion process in your own body. And it's this breathing technique called fire breathing. And it's just a rapid breathing through your nose, if you can. If you need Kleenex, stuff might come flying out, as it does with me usually. But don't worry. But just, it's like... Just do that for a while like a dragon, right? And then just get yourself... Just try it for a while, and I want you to start to feel the temperature. You'll feel the combustion process. So let's do that for about a minute. Ready? Here we go. Feel that a little bit? It gets a little heat going. You can use that, you can use that when you have thoughts and emotions that you can't seem to cry or yell or scream, and you just need to burn it up. Do that. Watch how that helps release, okay? But for now, take a moment. I'm going to drum this mighty drum. Thought I'd bring the big guns tonight. This is from Siberia, and I did the painting and everything on it, and I just like the way it sounds. Okay? So I want this to stir up stuff. I want you to tap into the deepest, darkest recesses of where you've got that frustration, that anger, that division and doubt, and just get it up and blow it into the stick. Keep going until we're done. Okay, you ready? Here we go. want you to visualize now that your first chakra, the base of your body where you're sitting, is fully connected to the earth, and that never goes away, that never gets clogged. That is your drain. That is the support you get from the earth. That is her job to take all that you process and all that you release to her and mulch it and turn it into new life. That's the deal. Always remember that. Always know that that's where the heavy stuff goes. And then the prayers and the visualizing and the lightness and the love and the sweetness, all of that also comes from the source in through the top of your head. So you've got, and that's infinitely abundant and open always. So you have this flow coming in of energy going through your body, processing, healing, soothing, creating, and then out the base of your body, and you're smooth everywhere else, like a pearl on this big wide string. And so when you do engage with somebody and that cord goes out from your third chakra to them or to anything, it's to play and it's to engage in the theater and it's to do healing or whatever you do, but then everything of heavy of theirs goes down their first chakra into the earth. You don't bring that in to you. You're not Mother Earth. It's not your job. And you couldn't anyway. There's no way. It's impossible. So always know that. Always remember, you can track, you can feel what they feel a little bit, but you don't process it. They go directly to the earth, and that's what you can visualize for them. That's how you can pray for somebody to heal and be supported, and then the source coming in. You don't send your heavy stuff up. Just imagine that for a second. What happens if you try to do that? No, right? It's not spirit and source's job to process your stuff. It's the earth. So know that, right? It's this. The street goes this way, one way. Okay, your prayers go up. The heavy stuff goes down. Prayers get answered. So when I burn those sticks of yours, all that heavy stuff's going to go into the earth from the combustion of the fire. But I want you to take a moment, because at the same time with the same stick, we can ask for what we want to bring in, and that prayer will go up when I burn it from the stick. And I'm going to burn a stick of all the things you think of next week that you wish you'd put in this week. That's my job as the shaman. Okay? Retroactive. Promise you I'll do that. So just take a moment and, make it really broad. It doesn't have to be, let me give you an example. Every time I've done ceremony with my Karo teachers, the last 20 years of doing ceremony and prayer and healings and opportunities to ask and receive what I want, I would think for a while and I'd go, yeah, I could use more money and I could use this and that and the other thing, I could think of a ton of things I'd want to pray for, right? And then I'd say, well, what would I do with that? Okay, well, what I do with that is probably just more of this work, I would just make myself more available, right? So I just learned that all I had to do, but this is my work as a shaman, is pray that I could be of the greatest service I can possibly be with the gifts that I have, right? With the greatest impact. In order for that to happen, I need food, shelter, clothing, health, good relation. You know what I mean? Like everything else, that covers everything, right? So try to think of something in your life that if you just ask for that one thing, it sort of covers everything. Does that make sense? It might be just to remember what I just told you, to remember to dump stuff. That alone, right? Then you just play and the sun rises like the natural humans. You eat, you sleep, you poop, you play, you eat, you sleep, pretty much that's a good life. Right? As long as all that's working properly.
Yeah.
So you might just ask for that. You see what I'm saying? So just take a moment, go there and imagine, what ideal experience you'd like to be having in life going forward, and blow that into the stick. Blow in 3 times. And I'll just leave you with, the idea that, this is with you and around you and available to you all the time. There's no conditions around doing this type of ceremony or blowing into a stick and burning it. Do you know what I mean? And there isn't any judge or scorekeeper that says, well, first you have to do these good deeds, or you have to be a good person, and so on and so forth. Right? I know, but we've been taught that, right? We've been taught that the sun will not rise for you if you're not, So, I just want you to be able to use these tools, right? Day-to-day basis. Like I said, it's okay to be caught up in the drama. That's the whole point. But if it just gets to be overwhelming, if you just get to that point where you need to shed, then do it. Do a little ritual. Do a little ceremony. Blow into a stick. Burn it over your stove. A matchstick. That's you could use anything. Literally a toothpick, a leaf, a twig. Burn it in a fireplace. Bury it in the ground. If that also works, the earth will still take it that way. A little bit slower, but it'll take it. Any questions about any of that or any of this at all? Does that all feel pretty good? Yeah. And like I said, let other people have their journey. The best thing you can do is model it, right? The best thing you can do is be an example. And eventually they'll pick up on it. Hey, how come you're not still upset? And you go, well, it's shaman time. You blow, you burn, whatever. You had to be there. You had to be there. That's good. Right? And that's it, right? It's okay for them to be going through their stuff, the hard way or the easy way. Again, we all get there eventually. So don't hold on too much to that idea that you need to do that for everyone else. Okay? It's enough to process your own stuff. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Really appreciate it. Really, really do. And I appreciate Emery and Nia for having us here and sharing their beautiful space. Yeah. And I put these on YouTube, my YouTube channel.
Somebody else comes out.
If you ever wanted to go back and go through it again.
What's your
Just,
channel's name? What's your channel's name?
I think it's John Rasmussen, yeah? I think if you Google anything close to Shaman and John, you'll get a bunch of
Shaman
mine.
and John.
I think you'll get a bunch of mine.
Shaman John.
Somewhere all that shows up now. Been around long enough, I'm like ranking on Google now, whatever.
Awesome.
All right. All right, thanks so much. Thank you. Lots of love. Lots of Oh yeah. Drop the sticks off away from the fire so we don't burn down. Drop them here on my. Okay, after the ceremony tonight at Luminata, this is now time to burn the offerings, prayers that were put into sticks. And offered my prayers retroactively for everybody there was a crowd of 40 tonight, and we all did a beautiful ceremony. So now it's time to burn and burn those offerings. Put the sticks in the fire. Everybody blew the heavy energies into. Everybody blew the prayers into. Ash will go into the earth to mulch those heavy energies. Prayers will go up to the heavens. Ichitai tai nyua oronika oronika hey 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 oa Nichitai tai nyua oronika hey 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 oa Nichitai tai nyua oronika oronika hey 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 oa Pachamama intitaita mama kia hatun chaska Ampui Boalsangate Salkantai Machu Picchu Waina Picchu Pitu Sarai Limani Waiki Wilkawama Lipa Salvasarai Veronica Pico Blanco Manuel Namakocha Ampui Ampui Maiko Pointai Tanchis Hatunamaro Chukachinchai Wanakauri Apuchin Nusta Maiko Napa Waiki Chaskachi Waiki Kukuchi Pachamama a little bit of my Agua de Florida as an offering. A little bit of the grapevines from my backyard here. Get everything burnt up good.